you. Welcome everybody to our DEIB committee on this 11th of February. And for our fans on social media, I thank you for your interest. You're welcome to join in this conversation, but you will need to have your camera on if you do join this live to speak, and you'll also have to introduce yourself, but for coming. So let me open up the agenda, which I should have had open here. So that's a welcome. We have community members, so thank you for joining us. And I wanted to briefly review the facilitated DEIB meeting that was with the town staff and the town council. If I thought it was great. Is there anything anybody took away from that they want to share?
I think it was just incredible facilitation, and also for people like me who aren't super up to date on how a town of this size works. Like at a fundamental level, a really good crash course in that. Like, this did a great job of talking to everybody about the different pieces that would connect and solve problems and how DEI could interweave within those. So I appreciate it very much.
And were you saying you have background too with like town stuff?
I don't. So, I mean, right now I happen to be a deputy municipal clerk in the town of Medford. That's kind of more happenstance than anything. And that is a town of maybe 400 people. So very different. But I have more background in DEI. So I really appreciate it. Great. So.
Yeah, I really like it. So one of the big things we have to do tonight is we've been charged to review the DEIB charge and discuss updates and amendments. If you've had a chance to look at it, that's great. We're not going to make any final decision at this point today. So if you can, I sent it with our agenda. So I have a few thoughts on it, being that for the most part, I think it still stands, especially for me. It's a 2-page document. It's like this. You can get it online. Yeah. It has a 2-page document, but there are a few artifacts because of the way the town runs that need to be updated. And there's a few things that I would like to submit as a change. And what we'll do is we will continue this probably partly by email. I'll discuss my changes and any changes you guys are thinking of. And then I'll try and recap it in an email, and so that we all have a chance to look at those changes and figure out if this is going to work going forward. And then we'll come back together and decide on the final, and then we'll send it probably to the, I don't know if this needs to be, I think this probably should be looked at by the town council, and then they can vote, yes, we approve these changes, and then it'll come back to us as our charge, right? This makes sense.
I have a curiosity about timing, what the timing should be. You know, if we have a charge, it hasn't expired, we can kind of pick our moment to renew that charge or not. But meanwhile, we can help the staff affirm their part of it. By one piece that I took away from the training was if this committee invites the town staff.
That's true.
To share their either their working document or their final document that commits, like that they're voluntarily saying this is what we can do.
Yeah.
We can kind of receive that and commend that, and then keep that moving forward. And this would be a good year to do that, I think.
Yes. Let me have a note about that. Is there, do you know if there's like a working document?
I think that's the graph that you all saw was what we have, and to my knowledge, we don't have any.
One or two of us saw that, but the whole committee hasn't seen.
I haven't, yeah. Hi, Margot.
Yes, summer and so,
Yeah.
and, I did ask if we should share that, and it was, well, we'll, we'll see, so I didn't share that with the committee, not knowing if it was going to share, but.
Well, I'll find out, I guess the next part is I don't think we have right now on the calendar any time to get together again to revisit it. So, maybe that's something. Forward, and see if that, what goes into that, or if we're happy with the way it is.
Okay, so I have this note in here, so I'll summarize. There are a few things. I think the changes I'm going to propose are all structural. They have no philosophical changes beyond necessarily a philosophical idea of leadership. Other than that, there's no philosophical change. It's just straight up, this is no longer applicable and we need to strike it and move on. So if you can get the document up, you'll see on the second page, it's the committee function. And this is where we will make some changes. One, in number one, we have the open for the public to attend, and we are changing these meetings. And right now it says that our meeting minutes will be archived, but that is a relic from old meetings past, and we don't, this particular committee doesn't either has a charge, nor should it necessarily have to make minutes. And it's partly to streamline the committee so that we're not spending huge amounts of time making documents. The replacement for that is often that we are recording this, right? And so anybody can go back and see actually what was said and actually what was done. I don't know how you guys feel about that, whether you want to have minutes taken. So this is something that we're not charged with it anymore. But if you think it's something we should keep, then it's a function of us deciding on it.
I will make just one comment, I'm not super familiar with the process for archiving minutes on the town level. I am a little bit hesitant to think about the current context of the National Archivist and just in general records and the importance of keeping records in more than just a digital state. Kind of all together makes me a little bit wary of that, but
How would you guys feel if, I know this is getting way out there with technology, but how would you guys feel if we archived a AI generated transcript? It would not be perfect. And it would not be necessarily exactly what we said, but it would be like. I'm just throwing it out there. I have no feelings. I'm totally agnostic.
It would like be a summary.
Yeah, it's a summary of what was discussed.
the other option, I'm not trying to either.
Yeah.
Reservations in terms of like summaries from AI and especially in relation to DEI and core DEI being a very human thing, right?
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely.
But I do know that recordings often there, and when I've done meetings with Zoom recordings in the past, there has been a transcript, like automatically generated transcript of the meetings.
Yeah.
And I don't know at what level or cost or whatever of a Zoom membership that involves that, but
Yeah.
that could be something where it's just essentially a closed captioning.
That's what
option from
That's
it.
what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
But
exactly what I'm talking
Right, and a
about.
transcript is
Yeah.
better than a summary.
yes, that,
And I do think it's much easier to go through a transcript. You can go through that. It takes us an
Yeah.
hour in deliberations and you
Yeah.
can read it in 20 minutes. the whole
that makes
transcript.
sense to me. I
Okay.
was just a little
Um,
worried about.
We'll
summary.
consider that and just see what the town, because I don't want to burden the town with too much if it's not something that we
Yeah.
need to do, but I also. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I agree.
Yeah, but I'm fine with the transcript. Those things usually I feel are
Yeah.
pretty accurate.
And those are simple from Zoom.
Yeah. That'd be great. Well, we'll look into it. I'll talk to Cody, he's the maestro. He'll know whether we can and how hard that would be. Hi, Cody.
Hello.
All right, so in number two, this is, number two is where I think I see the idea of the change, and I'm gonna tell you what the philosophy is and why I think it's. We've been charged, the committee shall be charged with selecting its chair or co-chairs. We have not done that. This committee has never elected a chair or a co-chair, and I do know that that caused some, I think, some issues when there was a transfer of one leadership position kind of person who was more like the functionary of the like organizational person. To me, when that happened, I came in here and didn't know anything, and so there was a big slowdown of what we did. And there was, it's just that changeover, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, right? And Malcolm was through this change and saw how that is, and so I think we should keep that. But I also think that we should just say that even if there, because changes can happen quickly. And I would say that when there isn't somebody who's been specifically deliberated on and come to an agreement to be the chair, that will just appoint, will say that the default chair will be my position, which is the town council liaison. It just makes sense, right? If we're not putting more burden on a staff member, the town council liaison would then be
In the
just
absence
of a chair,
elected
right?
chair.
So right now, I would be the acting chair, and if there was a transition, if I was like decided to move tomorrow, then the next committee member would be the chair until you guys came to an agreement. Does that make sense? So that we're not in a leadership vacuum, not,
Yeah.
and I don't mean like leadership. I'm just saying somebody who's coordinating, sending out the emails, knowing when the next meeting is, trying to keep us all on the same page. And so if you guys are in agreement with this, I want to put that into, so it would be something like this. In the absence of a chair, the town council liaison will be acting chair until deliberating and consensus has been approved by the committee. Is that fine?
Will serve
Something like
as-
that, and will serve as, yeah, as, and that'll
serve as
be
acting chair.
acting chair, it'll just be acting chair until. And that means that within the next few meetings, we have to probably tell people we're going to come to a deliberative and come to a consensus on a chair, and then have that be an official thing, because that's in our charge, we've never done it. And sometimes that works out, but I think with transitions, we just need to have that in place. Is that okay? And then, so now we get down to a few things. And this is the town council liaison will provide monthly reports of general committee activity, with the committee itself reporting directly to the town council development, community development committee, which no longer exists. So we're striking that. Well, it is, we have the community development committee, it exists, but is no longer the full council, so it makes no sense for us to be giving a report to the community development committee, because then we would have to take the report and then take it to the town council. So I want to strike that and just say we're going to take it straight to the town council. We will give it to the town council. It makes no sense to do it that way. Now, in the past it did, because every single person on the committee was on the community development committee in the past. But we were trying to get work done without having us all come to meetings all the time, every week, right?
Yeah.
And so we're gonna strike that. Now the
Strike
other,
community development committee.
yeah,
And
and
then
just
at the
have the
end,
town council. Yeah.
more frequently if needed by the council at the end of that sentence.
Let's see, and as with other town committees, what's he?
No, it's number 4 we're working on,
Yes, we're gonna take that out. And then
but
it
at the end of the
says,
sentence,
yeah, more frequently as if needed by is it our committee?
the council,
Yeah,
right?
by the council, yep, that would be the council, you're right, strike that for council. Now, the other thing that I'm thinking is,
Or we can say the council
I-
or the committee.
yeah, I was wondering, so the town council liaison will provide monthly reports. I think if I don't know if that's. I mean, I can get up there, but we only meet once a month. And
And
so literally. It depends, we meet after the last meeting. So it'd be, I could meet then the next one, it's just, I'm wondering if we could just put. Regular, I like that, or quarterly. I don't know, what do you guys think, regular? I think regular makes sense, but I also don't want us to get into this habit, like this last situation where we didn't talk to the council for
Right.
like a year.
Well,
Maybe at least quarterly.
it already says quarterly, so if we say regular reports of general committee, blah, blah, blah. Reporting directly to the town council quarterly, it already
Okay.
says.
So those are two different things, right?
No, I'm
Providing-
talking about the town council liaison at the top, I wanna move that to quarterly,
Number 4.
on number 4, yeah, it says the town council
Right, monthly.
will provide monthly.
We're
I
trying
want-
to take
So
monthly
there's-
out.
Yeah, I wanna take monthly out there
Okay,
and put quarter
So
or
can I,
regular.
can I ask a
Quarterly.
question?
Yeah,
So if it says quarterly, and
Yeah.
let's just pretend
that's the
there's some
next
years down
section,
the
yeah,
line, down the
yeah.
road, and things are a little more hostile toward the idea,
Right.
let's just pretend. Would that mean it could only be quarterly, like, or?
Quarterly or as frequently as needed.
I think the sentence structure in this one is in general causing confusion, because I think it's two
Okay.
separate things.
Yeah, it is two separate
Right,
things.
so you're trying to, you would like to change or strike that we're providing the monthly reports, but the committee itself is also reporting maybe at
Quarterly.
least quarterly.
To the
I think
council.
at least quarterly sounds good.
So reporting quarterly to the town council, but how often is the liaison providing reports?
Yeah,
Do you
I
want to
mean, I
just-
guess if we're doing it quarterly, then I might as well do it monthly, and we can keep it as is, and I can just say, we have nothing, like, my.
Right. You have to.
Some months, I can just say, I have no
Yes,
progress to report, and that's totally fine with me, so. Alright,
Maybe just to keep it on everybody's mind.
okay,
Even if it's just nothing, at least it's like keeping it in the mix.
alright, so we will cut out, and then I will put it on, and it'll just come up. At least once a meeting, right? Once a month, I'll talk to Clint about having it on, and right now, all of our council, like, committees. We can give a report every 2 weeks, because that's when we meet, so this one I can either have it come up once a month or just come up twice a month and just say I have anything to report every other one or every other meeting. That's fine too. I'll just say whatever's easiest for him, but we should have that come up, just like those other. Or, yeah. Okay, so we'll keep that and we'll cut, so this one's gonna read, the town council liaison will provide monthly reports of general committee activities with. The committee itself reporting directly to the town council quarterly or more frequently if needed by the council. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll keep that then, and then, so I'm gonna strike out in 5. This has the initial committee assignment shall be to review the committee charge and develop a general work plan to discuss the town council. I don't know if we need this initial committee assignment anymore, so I'm not sure at what point we need to strike out here, because this is no longer an initial committee.
well, and the second sentence sort of depends on the first sentence, so if we need to figure out if
Yeah.
number 5
5 didn't
needs
work.
to say something else.
Yes.
I
I
think we
think-
need to say something about
I think,
what we do.
yeah, I think that's the important thing is in this sentence, we want to keep having a general work plan. This is something that we haven't had, we're starting to develop that though, I think. And so we can have a general work plan within this, so I'll underline that, so as with other town committees.
Yes,
Okay, so are you on the,
We will have a general work plan.
are we on the agenda for
If we
today?
develop an annual work plan,
We're on the first document on the agenda, the charge to review.
first link, the first
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have printed out a bunch.
The charge. It's like it's-
Oh, what's been, I think I just went to a Zoom meeting. What's Sorry, look, I hit the wrong. Okay. Not that big.
Sorry. I have a different way of using language, but
Having a general work plan.
so I was gonna have as with other town committees, so we can strike out that whole first sentence, is what I'm saying. And then we have, as with other town committees, we will have a general work plan. But this will not be construed as limiting the committee from identifying time sensitive or high priority issues to work on. Or fielding requests for support from the town council and or staff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like shall, but that's just.
Yeah, and it was clear in that workshop, with different kinds of committees, this is a type of committee.
Yep.
That can generate for itself its own
Yep.
initiatives.
Right.
Yep.
And that's, I think that
We want to keep that.
we want to keep
Mhm,
that in number
mhm.
5, so it says that.
Be responsible.
And number 5, I say we keep as is, which is since the committee's role is to work collaboratively and as an advisory body, there is no budget or financial resources assigned. However, the town will support the work of the committee within the constraints of the approved operating budget. Our role as a committee, we make absolutely no decisions. We advise. And then the town council says yay, nay, or take it back and think about it some more. Right?
Where is DEI? On this,
I'm such a hard time.
Are we on the town side?
Yeah.
Planning committees?
There's like a council.
There. Is it on agenda to do on the town? website?
Yes, it should be on the agendas.
Yeah.
Today's agenda should be on there and you can get all the hyperlinks.
sure.
Probably the most
There's
recent
no way
one,
to-
but just Google it.
That would be an important thing for us to look at and make sure. that
Yeah,
our
coding.
messages are where we want.
Coding.
Yeah.
A clean copy.
Yes, I cannot get.
We're gonna get you a copy of this. You can read it.
Also try to search. Yeah, there you go.
Give us a print copy of what we're talking about,
Yeah, the agenda or the actual,
the actual document,
this one?
yes.
Yeah, I
If
can
you
print
could
this.
Print, how many of us are in there, there's 2 community members.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
6 or 7, and I guess if you, we're not used to having community members here.
no,
That's.
Which we
Yeah, we can hear them. That's all good.
That's kind of confusing.
door's not locked.
That's awesome.
No, I hope not. I think that's a joke, man.
Matt, how are you feeling about the council predisposition to receive and renew our charge?
I think it's good. with me. But I liked everything on the first page, but I want you guys to look over it and see. And also, I didn't have any issues
With it.
with it or anything that I saw necessarily that there's always things that we could change, but I didn't see anything that jumped out at me and was like, we need to do this. But this is why I want, not me looking at this, I want us to look at this and be able to come up with ideas as we go forward. Right, Malcolm, you look like you're in thought, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think the substance content, good.
Yeah.
I just wondered about the current moment and politics.
Well, okay, so
Like if we need to be-
Yeah. No.
No.
Just timing. Is this gonna cause a big fight on the council
to change this,
to renew?
Oh, I-
Reaffirm.
I don't think so.
I don't.
I really don't think so.
Is the committee at all under, I
No.
mean, we're not being reaffirmed, it's a standing.
It's a standing committee.
They
It's just,
get
we just have to have the charge. It's just the charge of the committee has to be voted. The changes have to be voted. If they're not voted, the changes are voted for, then we go back to this document. as far as I understand it.
Yes.
So that's a good way to.
Yeah.
The motion when it comes to board.
I will, yeah. So I don't think it's one of those that the committee has been made, it would have to, somebody would have to make a motion. To do otherwise, so. All right. So, I only have underlying chair or co-chair determine the meeting schedule, which then I'll have to approve with Clint.
Chair or co-chair?
Yeah, that's at the end,
Yeah.
or co-chairs.
Yeah,
What's number 5 on page 1?
Well, we could take that one off, but I think a lot of that's been worked through,
yeah, that was sort of specific,
yeah, and I think that was specific.
Would there be
but,
an example of that coming up, or
No.
our committee would be involved in that, or?
but if it is a role that
Yeah.
this committee
I think it's more,
should be ready to play, should there be a reason?
yeah, that's why I didn't necessarily think it needs to be taken off.
Okay.
It is. I find the wording of it to be interesting in terms of,
But let's reword it.
to me, it reads, and again,
Uh-huh.
as always, this is with me having very little historical context, which
Yeah.
is some homework, but
Sometimes that's good.
yeah, it reads a little bit as this council or this committee should be willing to understand and promote how they are internally handling any complaints, right? Which is reasonable in terms of being a committee in this town, but I think feels less reasonable in terms of if there are any issues in which the committee is pulled in to say, here's our understanding of the process. The understanding in this wording is they're doing a great job with their internal process, we stand behind it. Does that make sense? Am I
Right.
How about, so what
It feels
if
a
we
little-
took out understand, promote and just put, periodically. Review, review the town's internal process.
I like that. I also, I mean, even just understand what the internal
Yeah.
process is helpful. I
You
think it's good
and,
to know that it's a little strange to me.
Understand,
Review and
I
understand.
agree, yeah.
the town's internal processing for addressing individual operational concerns and complaints against employees.
So I need
And
to,
promote best practices.
yeah,
Is it complaints? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I need to understand what individual operational concerns.
Yeah.
means.
I don't know. I think we can take that out, town's internal process like addressing.
It feels very,
Um,
we're working together
I think-
because there was a
I
problem.
wouldn't do individuals, I would just say,
Operational concern.
see periodical review and understand town's internal processes for addressing operational concerns and complaints.
Related to
related.
DEIB.
How about the impact of operation?
If it's a personnel issue,
Yeah.
I think that's what it's speaking to, is that personnel issues are private, and those are not
Yeah.
things that probably would
Yeah.
to be discussed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
wordy and it's a little confusing, and what does it all really
Yeah.
mean, but I think that at the core of it, it's about personnel.
And I think
But it
that-
should be, it's more the process, not the actual, it should not. be.
Yeah, it's
And that we do need to
confusing.
take that, it shouldn't be specific, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was
I think,
taking from
Yeah,
it.
I guess operational, you said operational concerns and things. I think it's important to have in there because I think that there should be an understanding that if there are personal issues with limitations in respect to privacy, the town should be able to use a DEI committee as a resource to speak to some of the different things that may have gone into play. Just without the kind of promoting the way that you are handling this.
Yes.
Would it
And I
be,
also don't think that it should be only as relating to DEIB because that is in itself limiting. Kind of points to the idea that DEI is just it's a thing as opposed to kind of interwoven in everything.
Right.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
would it be like for addressing operational systems?
I don't think, I think we're talking about, as Lori says, events or, things that arise. Processes that are in place for addressing things that arise.
And yeah, I don't, again, knowing how it works, we shouldn't have any, we should not know about anything specific ever. This is just about processes, like processes, like fair, inclusive,
Yeah.
to
So-
both the employee and the
And
employer.
number
This is-
three addresses
yeah.
systems also.
Yeah.
So we don't need to address systems.
I just think concerns and complaints against employee, like,
I think it does also,
I don't understand it.
will you say one more time that the wording that you're working on? I think he's working on.
No, we.
I just realized I'm looking on my phone still.
Yeah, you had.
I think I would say periodically review and understand the town's internal processes for addressing employee complaints or the process of how that would happen, because it's a,
We just take the word operational.
yeah, I don't know, operational, yeah,
The operational
Concerns
concerns.
and
it is, I wanna take that out. That's
What you
what I'm
just said sounded good, like for
Yeah.
employee complaints like that.
for-
I guess
Aggressive
operational is
employee
not
complaints,
personal, so
Yeah.
one we need to bring concerns
Process
that were
for-
operational.
It's the process, we wanna know the process and
For addressing
regulations. Process, the. Journal,
employees' concerns and complaints against.
yeah,
employees.
processes.
So
for
it goes both.
Employee
Yeah.
concerns and, yeah, that sounds,
complaints,
I think that might, yeah,
that makes sense to me. Yeah.
And
and
the town or.
Where?
I don't know,
so
because it
periodically.
goes both ways.
Yeah.
I guess everybody's an employee here, right?
So
it should go both
periodically,
Well, you don't
ways.
need to put
I
the
mean,
town in again, this is
right.
the town.
Periodically review and understand the town's internal processes for addressing individual employee concerns and or complaints against employees.
Yes.
There we go.
okay, individual concerns, right?
Employee
And
concerns.
Individual employee, that's it. That sounded much better.
Employee concerns and or complaints against
Yeah, compliance against employees. That's good.
Yeah. That's our process.
Okay. I'll try and get that. In correctly. Okay. I'm sure we'll come on.
How many people are in the committee right now?
Technically,
Exactly.
exactly. Let me, so,
This is before the site.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
yeah, before it will be, let's see,
I mean, maybe we don't want to make ourselves have to have 10.
no,
We want to say like between 7 and 12.
I think that's great, yeah.
Or more, like, that's a very small window, 10 to 12, like. 11,
I
right?
think,
Like,
I think even five, like a lot of times our functional unit is five.
yeah, so
Yeah.
5 to
Five.
15 maybe.
Yeah,
Like, we
I think
might as well
that's-
give ourselves a broad range, because
Yeah.
it's up to us, like 10 to 12 is so specific.
Yeah, 5 to 15 feels both doable.
And this is a historical thing too, because we will be functioning on like 3 of us for like.
How many chairs were on this? We'll just do that.
5 to 15, does that sound?
Yeah.
good?
5 to
Yeah.
15 is, gives us a
Where
lot
was
more
that?
wiggle room.
Yeah.
At the very bottom of the first page,
Okay,
committee membership.
between. Gives us something, right?
Yeah, exactly, I like that, yeah.
Bang it up,
I like it.
we can say this.
Yeah, because 10 or 12, yeah, that's a tall ask. That's a-
Yeah.
It is. And trying to meet 10 people
Yeah.
at once is.
Yeah, no, we don't, we're not officially there yet, so.
Right. So
Let's put it within,
doable balance.
doable.
I have a question on, this is again, under the charge, so I know that's something that we're gonna think on. Under the committee charge number 3 on that first page.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to the lack of the word access in things. I know that there's a lot of different ways people like to phrase diversity, equity, inclusion. And narrative belonging. In my past work, it's been access, and specifically under that point, I'm wondering, you know,
So could we put at the end barriers to participate and access town resources?
I
Or is that too
suggest changing the word encourage to provide access.
yeah, and further to provide access. Well, encourage communities to.
I like the word encourage because it's proactive.
Yeah.
Provide access can be very passive.
Yeah, so I was thinking.
Provide
in
access
terms
is,
of-
I mean, if you encourage somebody all day, but if they don't get active, you don't give them access, they can't
Yeah,
participate.
well, I think we need both, is what you said. Yeah, I like some proactive language.
Okay,
So-
keep it in and I'm gonna have it be encouraged.
So I was actually thinking in terms
Okay.
of along inclusive, so inclusive and accessible, because those are two different things. So less about providing access, because I think that also would make the sentence structure wonky in terms of saying we have to provide access, which is
Alright,
different
read
than.
it out to us, how you're
Yeah, so-
thinking.
I'm thinking as identifying methods for ensuring that the systems in place that encourage community members to participate in the governance process are inclusive, accessible, or this would be inclusive and accessible.
Yes.
And further to encourage those with historical barriers to participate. I could see.
Yeah.
We got encouraged twice.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
It was there already twice.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we need to. look at that.
Oh, identify methods for ensuring that the system in place,
The systems.
that the system in place, that's a, it's only one. Identify methods.
How about-
We could take out the first one.
Take the first one out, yeah. Systems in place for community members to participate
Yeah,
in the governance process, so inclusive
Yeah.
and
yeah,
There we go.
accessible. And then further to encourage those.
yep.
Inclusive, accessible, and further to encourage, or back to encourage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so make a note of these, everybody make a note, I will try and get them in correctly, but
Yeah.
I haven't been writing it down.
I've been doing the best I can.
You want to read it back to us while we're right there?
Okay, identify methods for ensuring that the systems in place for community members to participate in the governance process are inclusive and accessible. Are inclusive, accessible, sorry,
No,
It should be inclusive and accessible.
are inclusive
and
and
Right.
accessible. Further, to encourage those with historical barriers to participate.
These awkward sentences.
Oh, you know what, here, and further, or inclusive, accessible,
Accessible, you said.
And further, yeah.
and further,
Yeah,
take off two. And
Yep.
further encourage those with
Yep.
historical
yeah, there we
barriers.
go,
to participate.
perfect.
thank
Yes.
you.
Something in there.
Good team bonding.
This one I revealed that in college, I did environmental policy and
Nice.
I loved the brackets
Process.
and I loved the wording. Very great.
And further. You got it.
Thank you.
We'll have more ideas as we get a chance to ingest and process this too.
No, I think the fun is coming up with the
I do.
plan, which we
Yeah.
will have such a great start in the fall. So I like it, we can still do that, and this is the foundation for
Yeah.
everything.
And we'll have to figure out what the official work plan that we submit, what they want. I don't know, we'll do whatever they tell us. Clint's is amazing. Holy cow. It's great plan. But yeah, no, we won't do that.
We could have.
No, well, I think this is a very talented group of people. Who work with Estella. All right. Is there anything more? You guys have at the moment? All right, so I would like, both, I think all of us know, Anila. And, we all now know the lovely Mariana, and I am recommending that we recommend them to be part of the TEIB committee. So
You're here.
you're here. We don't, it's not
We don't
official
do
vote.
Robert's rules.
No,
don't have to
no
do
Robert's.
Yay.
All we have to do is be like, yes, okay, so then I will take this, to be on the next town council meeting, and they will vote yes or no, and then we will officially be in, or officially not be in, but,
And then just a couple of instances.
you're always welcome.
How did- How did you find out about it?
I think I literally went on the town's website and was just looking around. I think I was looking at the library, which is connected to the town website. And I was just. I'm looking for a job. So at least it was findable on the town's website, so there's that.
Yeah.
You bring tremendous
Knowledge. And I loved it. I don't know if you finished whatever it was you were crocheting or knitting.
No, not yet, it's still in my bag, it's with the alarm haul.
So, item 5 is, to discuss the next steps for the Chief Orono Werewalk. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what's going on with that. So, James Francis, who's putting it together, there are his two goals for the Werewalk, which is a specific, type of, it's a walk for historical, and ecological, I can't remember what the RE stands for. Ecological-
Remembrance.
Remembrance, that was it, remembrance, okay, so it's a walk. This walk will both commemorate, it was 250 years ago when Chief Orono, went to Massachusetts and he met with, George Washington and became an ally with us in the, Revolutionary War, right? And so, but also part of this Werewalk is to, honor the Penobscot Nation members who are also veterans. And the tone of the walk will be, is something that we'll be developing, but it's an honor, it's to honor, right? So the tone of the walk is to honor these people who have served our country, our community, and to remember a person of great importance to the Penobscot Nation who served his nation and also served the United States. So it's an interesting walk. There's a lot of history that we don't know about that is starting to be brought to the fore about our town. And as part of that, different people have been thinking of maybe we could do more historical stuff and we could do more things. Now, we were thinking of maybe breaking off a small committee here to do this, but the town is already making a committee of that. And I think that that's a good thing. And we all know we don't need more committees. So, Margot was my understanding will be part of that planning committee. And Sarah Marks, who has been in talks with everybody, will be part of that committee. I would like one more person on the DEIB committee to be involved if they can, and I think Lori, you're already gonna be involved.
No, not Maddie, our new circulation manager.
All right, so Lori won't be, if somebody wants to, feels like this is something they want to be involved in, then we'll talk to Sarah Marks and we'll talk to Margot about having you be involved.
I might want to,
Okay.
depending on the schedule.
So,
Do you
I know
want,
I really can't add another thing, but
Yeah, I
I
know.
might choose to add this.
you want me to coordinate that with Sarah? Do you think, and you know Sarah, you can just.
I know Sarah.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
email it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there'll be other things that we could really help with, especially on the day, right? There's probably organizational things. And if we can be available, it's the 21st of June, I believe.
that's right, now, can I just say
Yes,
about that?
please.
It,
You know way more about this than I do.
On June 8th, 2024, the Maine State Legislature issued a proclamation in effect declaring that every June 21st is Wabanaki Veterans Day,
That's great.
Native American Veterans Day.
Yeah, yeah.
In the state of Maine. That's also a nationwide movement, so
Okay,
every June 21st is celebrated and has been without this proclamation in the past for
Okay.
a number of years by Wabanaki people to honor the veterans. Wabanaki people have served in the US military in greater percentages than many other
Yeah.
segments of the US population. So, you know, it really is a deal, and so we should know that the 21st of June is gonna come back every year this way. That's another reason that I think we should be very clear and very careful in our planning for Ware Walk with the way it dovetails with anything around Orono Arts Festival.
and I know that we are within talks. Sarah has also started to talk with MJ, who's the coordinator of the Orono Arts Fest. At this time, Orono Arts Fest, because we weren't aware of this when the Orono Arts Fest started, has already committed to that weekend and has committed to things going on, but I believe my understanding is that MJ is very open and very receptive of what's going on, and so we should be able to coordinate things, but maybe in the future there could be synergy and not
Right.
conflict.
Right,
And
it might be a happy accident.
Yeah,
that it is
yeah.
This way, you know.
I
Right.
I don't think of it as being necessarily conflicting, but hopefully it'll be something that is synergistic.
I don't know whether it was in communication with Sarah or who about it. I think it might have been Sarah, but apparently the town manager has suggested that we should actually sort of suspend Saturday activities in the festival that in any way would put.
Yeah.
The Ware Walk or the observations of.
Do you know how, what the timeframe is for this question?
I have not met with them yet, I don't know anything about it.
So
It's a daylight thing,
Date again
June 21st,
is the clear one.
Yes,
Okay.
which is the Saturday of that week. And Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday is the arts fest, right?
right, so is there any other questions? Thank you, Margot. You have a wealth of knowledge and that you bring to this that I'm excited about. So Adriana's out of town, she can't update this. I'll just say what I know, and that is we're running into real issues with being able to get movie rights to be able to have like a movie festival out of the park, but there are some ideas. One is to just go to the university and ask them, I know you get movie rights, you show movies, can we somehow have you be the umbrella person, and what movies do you have rights to? Will it cost more? Can we do this?
I'm sorry, what to go to who?
But
To we go to who and ask that?
the student life
What student
coordinator.
life,
Yeah.
So
And
the
that's-
library gets, you get licenses as well,
Okay.
it does cost something, we kind of
Okay.
suspended that since COVID
Yeah.
because we were spending a lot on movie licenses, we're not showing
Yeah.
movies. But it's something that we could look
Okay.
into,
That would be,
helping out with, I know
Licenses.
that I've looked into
Exactly.
outdoor events in the past and they're more than we
Yeah.
because they want to
Yeah.
license one facility if it's outdoors, I don't know.
It-
Why it's so much more expensive, but it is.
so one thing that I do know is that at this moment, which it could change, we have, you know, multiple thousands of dollars within the mini grant. And so I think this would be an amazing mini grant opportunity. And so if we can look into possible and what, so the point, I think the point that we were discussing, and please get me, you know, steer me right if you know this difference, is we want the students to feel like they belong in Orono, and we want the Orono you know, residents to feel like the students also belong in Orono, right? As much as possible, and get that belonging for both people, like, yes. And so we want to get as many positive interactions with the students and with the residents that both would be like, this is cool. And one really cool group that I always find fascinating, and they're just great people to hang out with, is the international students. And a lot of my peers, I think, would dig having the international students, like say Indian students, say, I'm gonna pick a Bollywood movie that we know everybody can watch, and it has these really cool things that remind me of home. They get up and they say, what you'll see is blah, blah, blah in this movie, and it reminds me of home, or whatever, and then show the movie. And it could be at Webster Park, which is kind of a neutral, easy for both access for the town, access for the students. And then we have some sort of wonderful interaction and people having the good vibes. And Webster Park is just a great place. The back of the library is also a wonderful place, but I love that neutral site. And so,
But either way,
Yeah.
wherever it is,
Yep.
we're maybe assisting in finding out if certain movies
Yes.
are licensed, you know,
Yeah.
getting it licensed.
Yep.
And go through the library and just not.
I think so, yeah, so. But if it has to be on library grounds,
I mean,
then we'll just do it in the back of the library, but if we could do it at Western Park, that would be pretty ideal. So that's kind of the thought process that we were having with this, right? And so it would need, like, we could just do one this summer, or we could see if we could do one a month and do three, and it's not, it's knowing the potlucks are not a huge ask, but I mean, it does take time. So there is that, but I do think it might be a fun thing to bring to the community, where everybody can come together, watch a movie outside, put on mosquito repellent,
Can
or
we roll out the bus?
that's what I would love to do, yeah.
We used to.
I'd love to do that, yeah. So that's the update there. Well, thank you, Lori, that would be amazing.
We could assist in finding the
Yeah.
license,
That
yeah.
would be really nice.
And for India,
Yeah.
Bollywood movies are real good.
Yeah, they are.
Lori, have you ever worked with, the dean of the libraries on campus, what's her name?
Daisy.
Yeah,
Daisy.
Daisy. Cause she's done some film.
Has she?
scenes
Okay.
At the library. I just think, I don't know, she may have some resources.
Yeah.
That way, I don't know about the outdoor challenge.
I haven't even looked at the outdoor for years, but I know I did. But
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be a really fun thing to do me
Yeah.
personally, but. Yeah.
Well, because I know Daisy's been really interested in, doing things like that and getting both the library involved and stuff, so it was likely to sort of put people
Yeah,
together
that
and
would be
say,
great.
let's talk.
And if there's like we have these mini grants and they might have funds for this type of thing, if we can get that together, then it just makes it easier for everybody. If they don't, then we will just do what we can. So Summer, give us an update on, so the other thing that one of the charges and one of the things that I think is really important is that we bring a better understanding of when we talk about DAIB, what does it mean, right? To the community. And that we're not here to like scold people, we're not here to chastise people. We're here to say, look, we want you to think about these issues and we want to make Orono a better place for everybody, right? We want to make it a great place. And so part of this is educating and reaching out to people to say, this is what we need with DEIB. And so Summer is going to give us a report on a book club that she's started here on where we are with that.
Yeah, well.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Considering the chaos in DC.
Yeah.
Does any of that impact you guys in DEI, adventures.
Yes,
Yes,
already, yes.
Yes, you get, the town of Orono gets federal funding.
No, and not so much, it's not so much about, we haven't had an official impact, but I think there are, you know, impacts in the air and impacts that some people are beginning to experience, Matt,
Social and societal.
Yeah.
yeah, social and societal, but
around the
Yeah.
town.
like this committee has no affiliation at all with the federal government. Beyond
So
like 3
nobody's
degrees of separation.
gonna tell you don't do this.
Oh, people are telling us, don't do this, yeah, absolutely,
Don't.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, but nothing official, there's no like. Word from on high, so, but yes, people are telling us to quit and not do this.
What about your students in the university? Are they being impacted, are they scared, are they looking for safety?
Yes, I,
They are
yes,
impacted.
I think so, yeah, I think it's a scary.
More so than like this community, because
Yeah.
there is federal community.
Yeah.
So we,
We used to be
immigration is.
host families. In South Dakota.
Yeah.
And those folks could be really helpful to international students who are having troubles.
So tonight, did you come to share your concern and support?
Yes, that's why.
To give us that, yes, our kids are set up in Belvas.
Precisely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, we have a new neighbor. I have a, yeah.
Yes, they are.
And I don't know them, but part of me says, I can go knock on the door and say, this is none of my business. But are you safe? Because if you're not, walk out your back door and come through the trees.
They live in the house that Woody Carver. Everybody knows Woody.
I don't, but that's okay.
But that's how you learn where you are.
Yes,
Right.
The librarian knows.
So, I mean, like, the students at the university banding together, what are they doing? to Protect themselves, provide safety. And how do the citizens, how do we, as individuals, get involved in this?
Well, there is an Office of International Programs. And I mean, I think if we wanted to specifically get involved, getting in touch with, what's her name?
Sarah Johnson.
Sarah Johnson and Orlina Bote are the two people to get in touch with. And they have more people working for them too, but I think, you know, if townspeople or this committee reached out, I think that would be a strong handshake.
Well, and Neela, who is on this committee, is also the director of the Office for Diversity and Inclusion on campus. So she's gonna really know what's going on when she's here about over there. But I know that they're already experiencing.
I'm sorry to derail your meeting.
no, this is great,
Just want you to know we're with you.
thank you,
Yeah.
this is very meaningful for us.
And not just.
Sounds like a nice collaborative effort. I mean, it would be good to know if there are more townspeople who are concerned and want to know what they can do.
Yeah.
To be helpful.
Yeah.
And creating a relationship with the Office of
Yeah.
International Students might be part of your work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a
We
good
went to the university of David Broad. And it's been gone. Almost 60 years.
Yeah,
58 years.
working in the Midwest,
So, yeah.
and I came home.
So we don't know, we don't have a network that other people state. And so, and this activism stuff is so ruthless. I mean, it's not the days that we were familiar with in the 70s where you held a bake sale to support your kid. I mean, they were trying to learn these computers savvy. But we have to get involved. As people, we have.
I was in front of the federal building this morning, with their indivisible protest. It's great, met some one.
But they also have to have, you have a line of people, they have a watcher on each end to make sure they're not causing. Because I guess there was an incident where a snowplow went after a group.
Yeah.
And almost took out their dog. So, bad times.
Thank you for supporting. I really appreciate it. So,
Please carry.
no, thank you. Sorry. So summer.
Well, we should, I mean, this will be part of the
Yeah.
transcript of tonight's meeting,
Yeah.
that in fact, there are beginning to be concerned townspeople who want to have connections that really, yeah.
Intimidation. Not giving to some atmosphere of papers, please.
Right. But we should really make a connection with Office of International Programs, because they deal with every student who comes from outside the United States.
I'll put this in the summary email that I'll send out and please. Everything that I send out is amendable because I won't get it all right. So you just say. You either cut and paste it and say this is what it should say or whatever. Right?
Maybe Sarah or Elena would be willing to come to one of our meetings and
Yeah.
just say like,
Yeah.
here's what the town could do. because
Yeah, you want to
there
invite
is
Sarah, Jocelyn
restrictions.
when I'm there, because I'm gonna be, I would be more than happy to just say. Please come, Sarah, and let's.
You mean
hear-
here, though.
Yeah, here too.
Yeah, so you met at the Wilson Center?
But at the Wilson Center, because
Oh,
I
okay.
think those kids need to hear some of this too.
Yeah,
I think also it's good to do it here.
Yeah.
Or maybe try and get more community members to come who are concerned about
Yeah,
what they can do.
right.
I'd also be interested in thinking, along the lines of kind of forming more of this community network. I know very little about the group in general, but I went to the auction and met some lovely people at the Kiwanis group. And you know that your former, but some of the first people I met when we moved up here, we went to the auction. But they're very involved in the community and they focus on youth. And supporting youth in different ways, so it'd be interesting to see if they are also interested in any sort of discussion, chatting, putting information out there to community members who are looking to support and how. But I don't know what their overall.
The president of Kiwanis is also a volunteer in Bangor with the Multicultural Center.
Yes.
And is taking part personally in that. When somebody is needing stuff, well, she gets the stuff out of the Kiwanis and helps them make a home. So with that background, she's probably open with
Who's the Kiwanis president?
Brenda Stevenson.
I would also suggest the Orono Health Association, because they do a lot of.
Sorry?
Orono Health Association, who also help people when they in need.
So maybe just something to ruminate on, these other organizations that we can connect with. And potentially have a book club that with.
Yes,
Yeah.
so. I want to be mindful of Cody's time here, so
Yeah,
please, we'll finish this up and then
Yes,
we'll
so
move
we
on.
are gonna have a 4-part book discussion group starting the second Wednesday in March at 5. It's gonna be Sacred Inspections by local Knobscott author Sherry Mitchell. And so please come.
Amazing.
What time did you say?
The second Wednesday at 5. So the second and fourth Wednesdays, March and April. 5 to 6. Oh, I don't think I have my phone with me, but
It's 5 to 6:30 on our.
yes,
on our
perfect.
calendar.
Yes, thank
Or
you.
5 to 7, actually.
And you can, well, I think the 7 was just in case.
Yeah,
like,
we
yeah.
Yeah.
But, and you can get the books from the library, so you don't have to buy it, and please come
Where's that gonna be?
at the library. Yep.
Thank you. And is there any more concerns before we adjourn and let Cody go?
I was just gonna also let you know that I talked to there was an email exchange.
Yes.
Camila, and we've identified March 4th for a community DEI.
Oh, there's a date
okay.
for that.
But what now? A community DEI presentation?
Mhm.
Okay,
Which is the
Right.
other like
Yeah.
learning opportunity,
Right.
Okay.
like,
And
yeah.
that will be in the library, March,
or, okay,
again, probably, I don't think we talked time. but-
I'm gonna put this in our, in
That's a
the,
great one for like the
Yeah.
networking that you were just describing that
right.
you're interested in. So if we say March 4th,
Right.
then get that word out to.
March
people.
4th, I love it.
I-
March
For the
4th, March
library,
4th.
March 4th, this is a
Yeah.
DEI learning and rising opportunity.
I,
I think I'm gonna be out of town that day, so I probably won't be able to come by.
Well,
But that, I didn't need to come to that, I
Okay.
just wanted to make sure. it
Likely
happened.
time of day.
Evening,
You
you know, 5.
March 4th, that's.
you know,
Yes.
By,
But yeah, I think that will be ongoing, we will just have educational opportunities and like, I really like to think of it less as education and more like learning together. Because
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like one
absolutely.
person
No.
educating, we're all needing to learn
Yeah, I
together,
agree.
and so just these learning together opportunities.
all right, well, thank you, I'm gonna adjourn this meeting, you can cut the show, Cody.